Hey guys, I just want to come in here today to touch on the topic of more negative emotions, anger, sadness, pain, suffering, all these things that we're not talking about on social media. We're all showing these lovely, beautiful parts of our lives, all the wonderful experiences, myself included, and it's a lopsided, distorted version of reality. I think what I see can also create more separation. You see everyone else having a wonderful life and you feel like, your life doesn't compare to it. Not that I want to empower all the so-called negative parts of it, but they're very much a part of life. And actually, when we talk about them and share them with other people, things tend to dissipate. If you're having a tough time, this is my experience anyway, if I'm having a really dark time, I don't actually want to talk to anyone. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. I think there's a sense of shame of feeling these things. But that I find is that when I do finally talk to someone, is that it just becomes so much lighter. Not that the problems go away, but I realize that they're not everything, they're not all encompassing, and there's much more to life than just that. So I don't really know how one would go about this, because as I said, I'm one too to just post all the beautiful parts of life, because obviously we want to share those too. But it would be great really if we could all find a way of sharing sadness, anger, pain, suffering, moments of total confusion, of overwhelmment. For we all do feel those things, and it's important to recognize that, if you see somebody else sharing that, you realize yourself that, because you recognize that you've had those moments too, and it just reminds us that we're all human, and we are all human, of course, and we all go through all these emotions. And I think especially in these times we're living in, there's just so much chaos and confusion and so much change, that it's really important that we can be there for each other, and that we do talk about, the shit, but at the same time being open and receptive to other people. Because I guess, when we're going through these moments, these dark moments, there's a real sense of being really if you're putting yourself out there in those moments, that's really, really being vulnerable. You're really putting this, because it's the child in us that comes out really when we're in these really difficult moments. I'm putting the child out there, the child that's suffering, and sharing these aspects of oneself that one probably has a certain amount of shame around, and if it's not received well from the outside world, that can be really even further traumatizing. So perhaps, posting it all over social media isn't the wisest thing yet. I think what we will come to realize is, there's a lot much more, people are a lot more loving than we give them credit for. Like we all have this capacity to love and care for others. And if we can look at people and recognize that we too are capable of experiencing all those emotions, we can feel compassion. We can be compassionate and understanding and supportive. So what I am saying really is I just think it's really important that we share these darker sides of ourselves. Because suppressing them isn't gonna fix anything, and it actually just, exasperates it. It makes the bigger what you resist persists. It's like you're actually empowering it. So yeah, it's finding healthy ways of expressing this and sharing it with others. Creating groups, support network, it's really important. I think especially with extreme cases of say, depression or anxiety, when you're really wrapped in it, it can be all encompassing. It can take over your whole life. And it's very isolating. You know, you can feel like a freak, you can feel like a burden, you can feel like you're experiencing things that you shouldn't be experiencing. We can be very judgmental on ourselves, and with that comes a lot of shame, as I've said already. But just express, because in each of us expressing it gives others permission to express and share. So I am going to take this on board myself. Start sharing these darker sides. I hope other people might consider it too. Lots of love.